a paradise. I see you looking, the way you look, I know you fly for free. Cause I got time and you got time. And I've been waiting to see what you do today. And we got something that I thought I'd never see. And they can keep looking for a love like you and me.
Up to your home, make sure it's special, cause I ain't gon' lie to tell you it's been long. Ain't gotta worry, cause I always keep my plug on the low. Just let me get a couple G's of that sweet eye that you grow. Won't be unfaithful, cause I know you got that one of a kind. When you show love and let me get that 3 for 25. So what's the plan, cause I know that you don't wanna be seen. Let's make it easy, lemon squeezy, I just want my green. Already know what I'm doing on my downtime. Inspire magic, so I'm floating away. Cloud now, a little nimbus, fly me through the sunshine. If I would keep me grounded, flourish in a new state of mind. Already know what I'm doing on my downtime. Inspire magic, so I'm floating away to cloud nine. A little nimbus, fly me through the sunshine. If I would keep me grounded, flourish in a new state of mind.
Puts me in sticky situations, rolling sticky, them blazes. Detached from all my frustrations. Stay high cause I am waiting. Cloud chasing, I ain't got no patience. So I roll them papers. So amazing how that flower keep me flourishing up out. Already know what I'm doing when I get home. Been a long day so I spark up, yeah, take a J to the dome. If you need me, please don't, because I'm currently floating. Pushing man got me right, straight pressure, I'm taking flight.
I devour large books in hours. Let the words run over me like a hot morning shower. Whole sentences caress my body like a sauna. As I get completely consumed with storylines, characters' divine twists and turns through their fictional worlds, I'm a little sadistic. Bending pages and hairline fractures to spines of books I'll reread at least 5 times. I'll apologize. I'm a little bit of a masochist. Draining my eyes since I was 5, forcing them to keep reading in the dimness of light for hours, exerting my power to transport to other worlds, become other girls or men, learn of new friends and lands that never end, people who use spirits like me to bend and mend and make sense of life divine, books that make me contort my spine into weird shapes to get comfortable, tucked and small enough to maybe try and fit into the front and back cover of my longest lover, the Word.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between.
Welcome to the Dom Experience Podcast.
Brought to you by the R.A.R.E Media Entertainment
Network. We're obviously in a very silly mood today. I am one of your hosts, Cinnamon Vixen.
And I'm John R.A.R.E, Dominus, or whatever you feel like calling me.
Yeah, we're in a silly mood today. And we have a special guest today. The Simone Del Mar.
Can I buy one of those things?
Yeah. No. We are not turning this into Drake Champs. No. I think the most we could get me to budge on that is like a triangle.
Fair enough.
Ding, 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 ding. Like I could go with ding, 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 ding.
All right, one of them little triangle joints. I'm gonna get a little. What you call that instrument?
A triangle.
You really call that a triangle?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Welcome to the podcast, Simone.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We are here for another wonderful Wednesday.
A wonderful,
And before we proceed, we always like to do a check-in because it's always nice to check into your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit, all those places. See where you are, see where you've come from, see where you're going. And so that is what we're going to do. If you are watching us on our behind the scenes or on our YouTube, this is also an opportunity for you to chime in. Yep. As usual, you can hop into the comments of both of those sections, both with your check-in and or any other questions or commentary you have. We love to see them. So yeah, let's start with our body. How's your body?
I'm a little sore. I had a show last night, and I'm feeling
was
it
amazing.
today.
Yeah,
I was there. It was a good show.
Thank you.
it was really good. My body's feeling good. I did not have a show. I don't think I've had a show in like 4 days, which is a miracle. Wait, yeah, it's a miracle. But I've had 2 massages in that time span.
Yeah.
And so to watch my tension loosen between Friday's massage and yesterday's massage, was wild. I have a journey to go, but wild. I also have knots in my legs that remind my massage therapist of New Orleans East potholes. So I'm tight.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
How your body?
My body, my arms. I would go down like sections of my body because like certain parts of my body feel different ways. My arms feel like I've been working out. One, because I was chopping down a plantain tree because we just harvested a bunch of plantain, and this I learned from like this like Caribbean YouTube channel that after you harvest, then you should chop down the whatever part of the plant that was holding the fruit, chop that down, so you know more energy can go to the shoots that come up. So next season, you have even more. So I did that, and so my arms feel a little sore from that. Plus, I've been doing a lot of flogging lately because we have 12.
Is it 12? I keep saying 20.
Yeah, we got 20 new floggers.
Yeah.
Where we didn't have any because we broke them all.
Yeah.
So I was using all of those things, and so yeah, like my arms feel like I've been working out. I feel swole. The rest of my body feels hugged by like CBD, like that really really good relaxed feeling. That's where I'm at for the rest of my body. But see, that's this one little part, like where I guess that's where like the Earth's core, my core
of your body,
my body is rumbling.
Yeah,
and
same.
It's ready to erupt if I don't put something to like shut it down.
Yeah.
I need some food.
We call that hunger.
I'm hungry. I'm so hungry.
Yeah. No, my arms are also sore, and that's the one space that like I got more tense from Friday to Tuesday
Well, I
because
appreciate this soreness.
these floggers arrived on Friday.
Okay.
Like while I was getting massaged. And so all you hear is like John playing with the floggers / opening and unwrapping them. And then I got to play with them Friday night. And then I got to play with them again, I think Sunday. And my arm, like all of this whole section of the muscles was just tight.
Yeah.
I got
It's a good
hands put
workout.
on me and they were like, whoa, what happened here? And I was like,
Stuff.
swinging the floggers. You saw them when they arrived. I don't know why
Right.
you're
Who needs
surprised.
a gym when you gardening down?
I wake up randomly from a nap and all I hear is toot, 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 coming from the living room while he's practicing with the floggers. It's a great time.
Great time. It's an amazing time.
But yes, okay, we've gone through body. Which one are we doing next?
Heart.
How's your heart? I can start. My heart's full to the brim, which means I'm now overflowing in tears while talking to people and telling them how I love them. That's great, though.
Yeah.
We're here for it.
I have a happy heart.
Yay! I like imagine this like bouncing thing happen when you say
Yeah.
it.
Doing the happy dance.
Yes.
Yeah, my heart is full, overflowing. I think my heart is finally in that place where it's willing to like really see the love and everything, so I could maintain my peace.
Hey. How is your mind?
My mind is always traveling, and at the same time coming back home. And I appreciate that about myself, being able to like step into the spirit world and then step back onto this earth and like still be grounded in the midst of everything that's happening, like, and recognizing so many different things and being able to like process all of that shit and still not lose myself in it. I'm really thankful for that. And so my mind is like, has been lately like really focusing on rebuilding our page that got deleted, because like we was already in a nice little pocket,
Yeah.
and I want to like keep that energy flowing.
We hit more than 1,000 followers.
Yeah, and like, you know, that's not a lot in terms of like the grand scheme of things, but it's a lot in terms of like where we're at right now and how fast it's moving. And so I just want to keep that train going. And so my mind is like back on rebuilding that and just like getting everything set up for 2023, because I think the more we be intentional about everything we do, the easier things get, and just the more in flow we'll be, and less trying to
Scatter.
sell people stuff and more so just preparing things for people.
Yes. I'm also in like planning mode, but my body is like recovering and resting. And so it puts me in this weird conundrum where like there's a ton of stuff that I want to do, and then like a 2 to 4 hour nap happens.
Yeah.
And or like I've decided that I work best on like work at night, but my body's been catching up on rest. So
Right. So it's like trying to find that.
right. So I'm in between two planners right now, 2022s and 2023s. I'm like making all these new routines and plans for like productions and stuff.
Yeah.
All these new ideas brewing for all the events that we're going to be doing and such. And now I'm just trying to let my body catch up without too much judgment
Yeah.
or like distress. Too much fussing at myself. I'm over that. Yep. I'm also really in my mind because I'm trying to see how this microdose journey that I'm attempting is going. So I tried it Sunday, off Monday, off Tuesday, tried it again today, off Thursday, off Friday. So we'll see at the end of this month what that has done for me and my brain. How's your mind?
My mind is really focused. I am happy to say that I've accomplished a lot in 2022. Everything that I wanted to do, I did this year. So I'm like sitting back in December, kind of, okay, what's next? I've got a lot of things brewing in 2023. I'm super excited. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing for as long as I can.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Like, yes.
Hey. The final one is our spirit. So, how is your spirit?
My spirit is feeling like, I don't know, it's like flowing between like childhood and teenage years, and like it's like I see myself going back and like meeting and greeting that every single person that was like always on it, and picking that person up and being like, come on, it's time now. It's like that little me that was always like, that had the ambition early on, that had the like focus, that had the drive, that had like that knew what he wanted, like at an early age, picking him back up, picking that teenager up, like me before I got heartbroken up, picking him up, like before I like was like ready to kill myself. My spirit is like traveling through all of those different persons and like just like, yo, this is what you went through all of that for. This is why you here right now. This is why you here. And I'm so thankful. That's it. My spirit is thankful for everything. Yeah.
Yay. How your spirit be?
I'm kind of on that same boat right now. I am my 20-year-old self. I'm a grown-ass woman. I know I don't look it, but my 20-year-old self is like, we did it. I'm exactly where I wanted to be 20 years ago. And it feels great.
Yeah.
My spirit's happy. It's like, what else can we do? Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I am in a very similar place. I keep saying I'm like living my wildest dreams. And what's wild about that is like, my wildest dreams are not any dreams that I could have imagined. Like, it's so interesting to know that I would have never thought that I'm doing what I'm doing now. And yet it is so me to be doing what I am doing and will be doing in 2023 now. And so that's really cool. And I'm really happy about it. And it's also like ungrounding and unsettling because I'm used to less. So to be in a space of abundance is wild and is a space that like I now need to elevate my other practices to reach. Like to be in a space that is surrounded by like unselfish love from like everywhere is really cool. And also I'm not used to it. Like a past me is not used to it. So I keep like encountering past iterations of me and being like, oh, it's okay. And so this like upward spiral has been happening where like it feels like a cycle, but every time there's like some elevation of it. It's really cool. And also like really odd. And my like spirit self feels like it is floundering a bit because in the past, I was talking to my friend about this, like I was learning my spiritual practices. And so my ancestors and spirit team were in front of me, kind of like leading the way. And now they're like to the side and all around and under and behind me. And it is like me now moving forward into these things as like my old selves align and like this new path opens up. And that's weird.
Yeah.
That's very weird. So like charting a forward path without limits and guidance, because guidance for me is limiting, is wild.
Welcome.
Thanks. I'm also arriving to myself,
Yes.
whereas everybody else has been seeing me
Yeah.
for a minute. So that's
Yep.
fun.
Yeah.
I just keep catching up to myself, and that's great.
Yeah, the bees and the wasps are now welcoming you as well.
Yeah. The
I
bees and
saw
the
that
wasps.
on your hand. Oh, it's like,
And
wow.
then like when I got to feed the sloth, before that even happened, like a bee came and like was just like, I'm just gonna walk on your leg, give you little kisses, and then go about my business. And I was like, okay, received.
That's
Understood.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You got the juice now?
Honey. I got the honey. and the nectar. Okay. This is the opportunity. If you have been watching us and for our production crew of R.A.R.E media folks in the back, to let us know, how is your mind? How is your body? How is your heart? How is your spirit? It's also your opportunity to drink some water. We're going to take a quick water break, a quick breathing break.
Yep, and when we come back, we're going to find out who this person is sitting next to us. We know about their mind. We know about their heart. We know about their spirit. We know about, how they feeling physically, but we don't know who they are. So we're going to find out in a little bit. So y'all stay tuned. This is the Dom Experience Podcast,
presented by R.A.R.E Media. We'll be right back.
I need you to play fair with me. I need you to show me that you care for me, and only me. Can't you see? We're falling down a rabbit hole, 'cause you can't keep it honest with me. You can't blame it on me this time, keeping all your secrets after midnight. Texting other bitches that I don't like, texting other men I just might. What's gonna happen when I start playing the same game as you? We can't stop making this a game for two. Let me be honest, I never play and lose. What's gonna happen when I start playing the same game as you? Same game as you, same game as you. Da 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 da. Same game as you, same game as you. Hey, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fuckboy of them all? It ain't you, but you get close. You about to make me go ghost. Text messages go from blue to green. I'm about to block you from everything. Fuck all your words, don't mean shit to me. Actions speak louder than what you speak. I deep it, you on another level. Never was an angel, but you are the devil. Knew you were my weakness, with you, so you reap it. Karma's a bitch, I bet you gon' seek it. What's gonna happen when I start playing the same game as you? We can't stop making this a game for two. Let me be honest, I never play and lose. What's gonna happen when I start playing the same game as you? Same game as you, same game as you. Same game as you, same game as you. Same game as you, same game as you. What's gonna happen? Same game as you, same game as you.
Jesus. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
To the
There's
Dom
always
Experience
something happening
Podcast.
right before we come back.
See, it always is. And then I wonder what people think is happening when they're just watching the YouTube stream. But welcome back to the Dom Experience Podcast, presented by R.A.R.E Media. I'm Cinnamon.
Dominus, just in case you're just tuning in.
And today's special guest is Simone
I wish I had some ones on me right now and I just make it rain.
Just make it rain often. It's just a sign of praise and adoration. I'm gonna read this bio because it's real cool.
Go ahead.
And I like gloating on my
then
friends.
we'll let Simone introduce herself
Exactly.
in a different way.
Ahem. This California-raised international showgirl and producer has shimmied her stuff all over LA, San Francisco, Las Vegas, Mobile, Jackson, Atlanta, and Memphis. She performed in a 3-week review at Adelaide Fringe in South Australia, was the associate producer of the 2017 Hollywood Burlesque Festival, the 2016 ambassador Queen of Bronze Beauties of Burlesque, and won Biggest Tease at the 2022 Oregon Burlesque Festival. Is exactly why I'm reading this out loud.
Stop playing. Oh, you somebody.
Relocating to New Orleans in May of 2021, she has taken the city by storm, performing at the Fillmore, the Virgin Hotel, the Ace Hotel, the Toulouse Theater, Royal Sonesta Hotel, Tipitina's, One Eye Jack's, Kermit's Treme Mother-in-Law Lounge, and the Always Lounge.
Yeah.
Her slow burns will make you cry in your pants. This
Little
is
voice.
the bronze beauty of burlesque, Simone Del Mar. You like my announcer voice?
I like
You looked at me
I
like-
like it.
You looked at me like, who?
Who is that?
It was real smooth.
Yeah.
I used to do
It
announcements.
was like almost as if you had a deep voice, but it wasn't deep.
You know, sometimes I turn on the announcer voice from like, I did announcements for a very long time. This is a complete sidebar. Like all through high school, college radio, and then when I became a teacher, they let me do morning announcements, and it was the best.
Look at that. School paid off.
It did. But yes,
But who are you?
who will you be? I mean, outside of all of that.
That's a loaded question.
I mean, we accept.
I
any and
after all of
answers.
that, I'm me.
Yeah,
That's all right. You're you.
that is true.
I rock with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know.
I was just, I got to read all the accolades, and I was
Look.
like, yeah,
It was like
yeah.
bag after bag after bag. That's all I kept hearing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, wait. Before we continue, we have to take a little sidebar, a little detour,
Oh,
because this is the Dom Experience podcast.
You're right.
And we do like to spend our time talking about the Buddhisms, also known as the BDSM, kink, sex, spirituality, and all those places in between, right? But as responsible Doms,
yes.
we always like to have a conversation about consent and communication before we begin. And so, we would like to ask you for your consent to continue this conversation, as well as acknowledge that we like to use the stoplight system, where red is this interview conversation is over. I have reached my limit and it is time for aftercare. Yellow is like, whoa, let's slow it down, / I need a bathroom break, / I need a breather. And green is like, go, 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 keep going, we're good. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
Do we have your consent to continue?
Yes.
And then also, if there's anything that we ask that you don't want to answer, you don't have to. You can always just pass.
Yeah.
That's always the thing. But I feel like we put a lot of pressure on the top of that with all those accolades. I want to ask you,
Me?
Mr. LeCarbier.
Yes.
Do you remember when you first met Simone?
Do I remember when I first met Simone?
I vaguely remember.
Ooh. When I first met Simone, it was on the, it was...
But he has a better memory
I
of
didn't
us.
meet Simone that night, but I met Simone that night
Mm-hmm.
because, you meet people before you actually meet them.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Night Moves, I believe. You were on the flyer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then y'all performed together that night, and then the next time y'all performed together, I believe, was something you produced, and Simone was in your show. I think it was R&B.
That's what. Yeah, it was probably R&B. Mm-hmm. It was.
That was a fun show.
That was the first time I met Simone. R&B.
Was our first time meeting for Night Moves?
I think so. Actually, yes.
I think so. Because you got here in May,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just started seeing videos, and then I was like, "Who is this?" Obviously, most of these videos were posted by Ariana Moore because Ariana is the archivist of the burlesque scene.
I'm
Yes.
just here to say, THC ain't got shit on me. I just remembered all of that with
You
ease.
did. You remembered all of those things. And of the two of us, he has the best chronological memory. I do not. My stories spiral often.
Yeah. My father's time.
Yeah. But Night Moves is, I think, where we officially met. And I was like, this my friend.
Instantly.
I was like, this is my sister. We just have to do this more often.
Yes.
Whatever this is. Also, I just want to say that I was really excited. Night Moves is the first burlesque show that I invited my mom to. It kind of blew up in my face. My mom is relatively conservative, Pentecostal Christian Caribbean woman. You know, and so I was like, well, come to Night Moves. It's a long form burlesque. Like, there are longer acts. It lends itself to be more classic burlesque. And you were on the flyer, and I was like, this is gonna be great. And then like the first 3 acts were just people's body parts out that she was not expecting and I was not expecting. But to at least it was a great show.
Yeah.
She enjoyed herself, but to know at least that you were her introduction to burlesque as well, was an honor and a privilege. I was like, but Simone's going to be there. And so it's going to be great. Whatever happens, it's going to be great. She enjoyed herself. She enjoyed watching me perform, and then promptly was like, I'm good. I'm good here.
So what do you enjoy most about performing?
Yeah.
Like, what does it do for you?
For me, it is very much an energy exchange that I appreciate. I like the story of burlesque. For me, it's not necessarily taking off my clothes. That is part of the journey, but I like to, when I'm doing an act or singing a song, I like to go through some sort of feeling, vibe, a story, and then I want you to bring you into my world. But in exchange for that, I need for you to give me your attention, your money, your voice, your eyes, your energy. I like that, and I'll give it right back to you, and we'll just go back and forth. So that's what I really like about burlesque.
How long have you been doing burlesque?
I give myself 2 dates because I started burlesque in like a cabaret setting with a group of girls. I was the head choreographer for all the group acts. And that lasted for a while-ish because, you know, a bunch of girls after a while doesn't quite end up nicely. So I started burlesque journey 14 years ago. But then I went solo or took it seriously, I'd say the last like 8 years, where I've really said, okay, I'm Simone Delmar. I'm going to make something out of this. But
I would actually like to go back a little bit further than that.
Oh God, I think I know where this is going.
I mean,
there's a lot of years.
I think I know where this is going.
I mean,
this
I learned a fact, and it just triggered a thought. But so you've been doing burlesque for anywhere from, I think, up until 14 years.
Yeah.
Right. But you got into it as like the choreographer, as like partially what you were doing was choreographing. Yeah. So like, how much farther does your movement career go back?
I started dancing when I was 15, late bloomer, and absolutely fell in love with it. And at 18, I had an agent, and I was in a company, and I was doing that until my early 20s, and then fell in love and stopped dancing for 11 years. Would not recommend that. Got out of that and randomly ended up in a bar, and they had a cabaret burlesque, and I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And 2 months later, I was on a stage doing my first like burlesque kind of show, and that's kind of all she wrote. It just fell into it. Like the universe was like, okay, you're back. Let's do this. Yep. And I've not stopped since.
I feel like there's been so much reward for you in going back into that life too.
Yeah.
John thought I was going to get really excited and go straight to the accolade of being in the Usher My Way music video. But Simone is also in the Usher My Way.
That's what I thought you was about to say.
Straight up. I wasn't about, I mean,
I actually hurt myself really bad in that video. Yeah, I had on some crazy shoes, and they had us running down this like, cause we were like in what are those things called? Not aqueducts, but like where the river runs.
Oh,
or like,
I know what you're talking about.
You know, in Greece where they do the Greece
that's
lightning
exactly
thing.
where I went
Well, there's
to.
like tunnels like that, and so we were running down the tunnels. And wanted the shot, like if we're running away or running to, I don't know. So I'm running in these crazy shoes, and I twisted my ankle really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I recovered obviously, but when I think about that video, I was like, damn it.
How tall is Usher?
Well, I'm little, so everybody's taller than me, so I can't. He's
Gotcha.
taller than me.
Gotcha.
This is another reminder and plug that if anybody wants to support me in my dreams and journeys, you could go ahead and slide some money towards this ticket for me to go see the Usher residency. The
She don't wanna
round
let me
2
pay
that's
for it.
happening from March to. I mean, you could pay for it. I'm
Oh.
fine with it. That's. I just want to get there
Okay.
on a specific date. We could buy the tickets first and then go ahead and get the hotel. I don't care. I just want to be there before the second round of the residency ends. I don't know if he's going to renew for a third one. I just know that I want to see this residency. And it's not because I'm going to stop digressing after this. It's not because I found out I'm an Usher fan, yes, but the production quality
Yeah, it looks
of
incredible.
the residency is amazing. Like, I first was like, I want to do this because of the pole dancers. Like, I was like, I want to see that part of this performance. Because the choreography of both the pole work and the Usher bucks getting thrown while the pole is happening.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So good.
What's your relationship with kink?
Getting right
Just
into it,
jump
huh?
straight. He was like, I'm going to pivot.
I would say I know things. I've done things, but there's so much I don't know.
So you have no relationship?
I can't say I do.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm this or that, or am practicing or currently practicing anything.
Gotcha. So, being that there's no real relationship, how do you know about it?
Places like this. I have friends that are very much into the lifestyle. So I know of it through them, but they're not local, so
Fair enough.
yeah. And I'm very private, and I'm very close to so it's very hard for me because I know that it's very much a trust thing. And that's really big for me. So I have a hard time going there because for me, if I don't trust you, we're not going anywhere.
That makes sense.
So I have to get to know you for a real long time for me to be like, yes, I take off my clothes. Yes, you can see me doing all the things, but that's such a small part of who I am.
Right.
That I haven't met a person that has met all the things where I can feel comfortable to really explore the way that I would want to if I was going to, because I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I don't want to like, dip my toe in it. Let's go swimming.
Can I ask this one more question?
Yes.
Because I thought of this as you were speaking. Because you take off your clothes, do you get a lot of people who assume, you're like extremely promiscuous or ready to like be DTF basically because I've seen you perform and like you sometimes you kind of draw people in, and I know sometimes if a person isn't like mature in their emotions, they can't separate the performance from the real reality of what's going on, and so they might think you really want them in a certain way. So how do you run into those type of issues?
I've been really fortunate that I don't have that issue.
That's a blessing.
I don't get dick pics. I mean, I'm not asking for them now that I've said that.
Never, ever. Unsolicited.
Knock on wood. So I
Right.
think that I don't know if it's the way I present myself or if I just don't look like that type of girl, or I don't know what it is, and I'm happy because I don't need all that. So yeah, I have people come up to me and do the hi, how are you, I want to meet you, or smiling, or can I take you out, or whatever, and I say whatever I say, but I don't ever have any like do anything like out of pocket with me, and I don't
That's a
know.
blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
I think that kind of segues into my question.
Awesome.
So as like a mover and a burlesque performer, and I would offer, so as an audience member and as a peer, I've watched you be very similar to how some folks describe like sirens on stage. Like there is an obvious conjuring of sensual and sexual energy where I look around the space and people are just like, so I'm going to offer this question, let you ponder it for a second, and then we'll talk about it after a little breath break.
After a little breather.
And that is like, how do you, for lack of better words, we're going to just ignore language. How do you conjure and work with sexual energy in creating this like exchange for an audience on stage? That is the question that we're going to ponder. We're going to get some water, take a few breaths, put any questions in the comments, and we'll be right back. This is the Dom Experience Podcast presented by R.A.R.E Media.
Can we all answer that question?
Yep.
Got a feeling you're the one. I finally found out what I've been looking for. The morning daylight surrounding me. You wrap me so tight, I live the air you breathe. I'ma be locked down with you for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. I'ma be locked down with you for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life.
Appeal the verdict. I take a stand. Swear me in first. Your wish is my demand. Release the jury. You can sentence me. Lock me down tight. I need no sympathy.
I'ma be locked down with you for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. I'ma be locked down with you for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. I'ma be locked down with you for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. I'ma be locked down with you for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life.
Who plays the victim tonight? Is it you? Is it me now? I'll play the victim tonight. I'll do the time just as long as you're right here with me.
Welcome back to the Dom Experience Podcast presented by R.A.R.E Media. I'm Cinnamon Vixen,
And I'm Dominus.
and we got Simone Del Mar.
Simone Del Mar here.
Okay, so before we went off on our little pause and our break, the question, which I will attempt to rephrase, which is all of us question, is how do you conjure, work with sensual and sexual energy for these energy exchanges that we do on stage and or in our lives? How are you working with sensual and sexual energy? because all of us work with it outside of the confines of like traditional sex. Yeah, outside of the confines of the bedroom. Yeah, and so as creatrixes, how we doing that? I'm gonna let you go first. We've talked about that.
Shit.
You're the guest here.
We've talked about this in some semblance before.
How do I conjure my sexual energy when I perform?
Like, do you
And it
even
might not
use
even
that?
be yours. I've watched this happen with audience members as well.
I think I just intuitively tap into how the music or the story is making me feel. And I lean into that. And I use my own feminine attributes that I didn't even know I had until very recently. Like my slow burns. I'm leaning heavily into my slow burns. A slow burn is just really taking your sweet ass time to do anything, touch yourself, take something off. But I like the intensity that I feel the audience watching me move real slow, and I can feel them holding their breath, and that feels really good. And so I always try and play off of how when I'm doing it makes me feel, and then that lets me know if that's going to work for the audience. And sometimes I have to change it. Sometimes I think it's going to be like this magical thing, and then I do it and it's like
I've never seen that happen yet.
Okay,
This
well,
must be a pre-2021 thing.
So how does that make you feel?
Yeah.
what do you mean?
You say
This when it falls or when it
you say it feels good. Like, what is that feeling? Beyond good, what is that feeling? If you could describe it a little bit more.
I mean, when I have a really great show and I leave that stage, it's better than sex for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it is.
I would also like to take this moment to say you are a Leo.
I am a
correct?
Leo. Is that a problem?
No.
Yes.
Not at all.
For who?
I was about to say, not for us.
Problematic.
Not for us. I think it, like, for those who are into signs, it, like, brings to mind this, like, way that Leos live in the spotlight. And I think some people, like, stereotype that into just, like, so, like, to see the way that you slow burn on stage as a way of commanding attention is really cool. That was all. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, our stars are always perfectly aligned anyways, just our trauma that messes us up.
Yep. You
Like,
do always say that.
So ain't nothing wrong with a Leo.
Not at all. Never.
Plus I'm like borderline a Leo anyway.
When's your birthday?
August 23rd.
Oh, You are. You're on the.
There are so many, like, loves of my life that are in this little segment of August. That's like, look at the triangle. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But it will always be Mush Month for Bay. So
how you use that energy?
So you said that when it works, when the energy exchange is happening, when you're snatching breaths, and as I put it, stealing souls, it feels like it's like the Little Mermaid. Like, if you've never seen Simone perform, you need to go see Simone perform.
It's like the facial expressions.
It's like, and I don't even have to be looking at the audience. It's like when Ariel gave up her voice and you could just watch it, like the soul travel.
It's like everybody's soul is just going right there.
And John and I just be like, you poor unfortunate soul. Like last night,
Right.
we watched as you took people's breaths away. Their souls might have traveled with it. And I've not seen many people pull off, like, because I've been in the game so short of a period of time, I've not seen enough reverse strips, and also seen them, like, pulled off so effortlessly as well.
Right.
Like, to watch the audience watch you to, like, R.A.R.E.'s Brown Sugar, like, have this full moment of, like, derobing, de-head wrapping, hair, body, and like not get upset when a new item of clothing then came on. Like they were with you. They were like, this is weird. I don't care what happens right now. I don't care what comes off, what goes on. And like, we're just here.
Right. Because ultimately it was beautiful no matter what the picture was. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, it was just art.
Thank you. I've always wanted to do a reverse strip, and I don't know, it just made sense. The brown skin.
I said brown sugar.
Yeah,
brown skin.
Brown skin. It just that too.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Just it made sense for me when I was listening to it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That was beautiful.
I'm gonna keep working on that, because the first time I did it was at
the cookout.
That was live music, which was
in November.
Yep, yep, yep.
It was really
it was
good.
really fantastic. So
You see a snippet of that in our stories.
Yeah. I will also say, like, I'm having a movement nerd out with you, which
yes,
once I start talking, I mean, we'll go back. We can shift the attention back to us in a second. But there's like an intimacy that I also find when you perform. Like most recently, I'm thinking about like brown skin, which I almost said brown sugar on again. There's like a journey like you were talking about before that happens. It's a reverse strip almost in the sense that like folks, it seems like you're about, like you've just spent all this time loving on yourself and now you're about to go out into the world, like to a party, to a girls' night out, but like the amount of time you've spent loving on yourself to prepare for that moment is just like, we are a witness to this journey in this space. And I find your slow burns often allow us the opportunity to like come into a space with you that is not, it might not be for us, except that you've been gracious enough to allow us to be there too. And so there's this play that happens with like, what is your space? And then like, oh, you see it, you're here. I think about like Plastic Off the Sofa, which we were talking about during break. No. Yeah, we were talking about it briefly during break for the Beyonce show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your piece for Plastic Off the Sofa was a very similar like space of like, oh, we are with you now. Not just like an audience watching a thing that's happening on the stage, but somehow you've like pulled us into this room or this space or this place with you. And I think that's really cool.
I think for me, I'm here to entertain. That's my job. You guys come to the show, pay the money you want. That's what I want. So if I want to take you out of your world, whatever's going on in your head, whatever happened 2 seconds ago before you sat down, I now want you to be where I want you to be. So I always try to, when I do an act, I try to do that intimacy. I try and pull you in. I try to look you in the eye. If I'm not looking at you, you're feeling me pulling at you, which is the energy thing that I like to do. So, but then I give it right back. So no harm, no foul. I'm not taking souls and keeping
You are pretty
collection,
gracious with that.
putting them on my skin, keeping myself young.
But you are.
I mean,
Because that's what energy is. Like, as long as you continue to exchange that beautiful, loving energy, you will forever have beautiful, loving skin.
Don't tell them the secrets.
I'll say that's a lesson
You
for
know,
anybody
the
who's
thing
listening
is,
carefully and closely.
You can tell people how to do it, they still won't do it.
Yeah.
It's like my body butter recipe. Like the body butter recipe is available, but nobody's
They still
gonna
won't
eat it.
do it because you know, it's
Do
for
you have mine, by the way?
No. There was too much oil. I need to counter it with some more shea. It's
Okay.
sitting there
Okay.
ready.
Another excuse to see you.
Yeah.
I know that was your plan anyway.
Yay.
Are we
A
going there?
question? No, a
Okay.
question. Where are we going?
I don't know.
We're here
I'm
for
fearful
what?
for the next step.
For one,
Technically, we still
do
have to
not
answer
treat
it.
this conversation like a journey. We are already here.
Okay. That's right.
But I will say, your conversation did inspire another question.
Okay.
So when you say you're out there, you're entertaining, you're there to give people something to take them out of their space or whatever. So knowing that, that's kind of like dominant in nature, right? Being that you are controlling the space in the moment that you're controlling that space, how do you control yourself to be that careful on stage? Like, in other words, how do you take care of yourself outside, off stage, to make sure you're on stage giving people exactly what you want to give them?
I think when I'm not performing and I don't have to be anywhere, I'm very, very, very much I'm going to do what I need to do to keep myself sane. I take my walks. I, read my books. I, lay in bed and don't do anything if that's what my body wants to do. I definitely don't push myself outside my realm that I feel I need at that point. I'm too old to be out there in the streets doing things. And so, yeah, I really do take care of myself when I'm not performing.
Beautiful. That's all I got.
Okay, it's our turn to answer the question.
Oh, go ahead.
Which is, how do we conjure and work with sexual energy outside of the bedroom?
Go ahead.
Why I gotta go? Okay. So how am I doing this? I mean, it's in everything. Okay, so I'm catching up with myself. So I'm catching up with the fact that I, in general, am a very sensual and sexual person. Just at base level, when I'm my most grounded. In thought, in mind, in energy, if not in action. It is a thing. I like my body. I like being in my body. I like moving in my body. I like thinking about sensations and touch of my body and other bodies. And I like creating things. And so creative energy is sexual energy and sensual energy. And so that kind of, if I am catching up with myself and being honest with myself, feeds into everything that I do. Whether it is making body butter, or I made more scratch and stink salve though. The pasty patch up is ready. It has solidified. I even dropped little calendula on top of it. Like, stuff like that feels good deep inside my body. Talking about food resonates in my clit space. It does. I was having a great conversation about bread yesterday. Just like the moistness of the bread is exactly how I talk. I was about to go into how I talk about consumption in other ways. I'm just gonna say what I was gonna say. Talking about bread and like the moistness of bread, elicits the same response as thinking about sliding certain folks' dicks down my throat. Like, that's just, it's the same. It's certain people, just like it's certain bread and certain butter with that bread. But the feel in my body is very much the same. Having really good cheesecake feels as good as sex, especially if it was made with good energy. So like, I feel like I'm digressing. Why are you looking at me?
Hey, you talking? I'm listening.
Anyway, I like, all of that is just infused into my life, period. And then it's really nice to get on stage and like entrance folks. I find myself in this weird conundrum that I feel like you might have experienced as well, of like, most recently I did a performance. It was relatively slow burnish, and the room was dead silent. Now, the first act that I did was as Synonym Dixon. It was drag. There was lots of loud noise. There were some tricks. There was money grabbed. The second one was a burlesque act. It was slow. It was very sultry and seductive, and it was dead silent, to the point that in my brain I was like, do they not like it? And I found out later, because I asked John and then also watched the video, that I was like, oh no, they're entranced.
Yeah.
But the catch with being entranced is, while it's a great energy exchange, people forget to give me their money.
Yeah.
And thus it's almost like I didn't do my job good enough.
Yeah.
Because there were no tips in my hand at the end of that.
Yeah.
And they had to shake themselves out of it, but the show had already continued, and so I didn't get any money from it.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. And I'm just,
soul burns aren't for everybody. Yeah, yeah, that does happen often.
right? It was the one
Unfortunately.
downfall. But yeah,
You
I
see
like
a slow
doing that.
burner, pay a slow burner.
Yeah, like, throw the money at the end if you're too busy watching it. Like, slide into the Venmo and the Cash App, all of that. Give us the money that you would have given me to buy my drink, because I'd rather you just put the money in my hand at this point. But like, Yeah, I like conjuring that type of energy from a crowd, though. Like, to know that I have your complete and undivided attention is also why I like being a dom. Like, and I can tie it to my youth in that, like, I watched the Batman movie and saw Poison Ivy and was like, I want that. I want to be that. I played some imagination about being that. I want to, like, just conjure people's attention. At the time, it was just men, but obviously that's not the case anymore. Of, like, I just want all of that.
Yeah.
Give it to me in my hand. And so that's what I like doing in, like, a conjure space, but that sexual and sensual energy is everywhere.
Yeah.
Most recently in the Loving Touch Challenge, which I will talk about during church announcements. But Bae,
What's up?
how are you conjuring and working with sexual energy outside of the bedroom?
Outside of the bedroom, just like I was speaking on, like, where my spirit was going, like, and picking up that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's also been picking up that person that was introduced to sex at a very early age. Picking up that person and, like, figuring out, like, what it was, what it was for me then, and why I was so, like, attracted to it, and, like, how I remember back then, though, I was so horny all the time, but I wasn't having sex. I would read magazines. I didn't necessarily have the internet, but I would have, like, HBO. I would have channel 52. Not really have channel 52, but if you change the channel, you could kind of see it. Yeah, I had that a lot. And so I was, like, always fascinated with all of this stuff, and I was reading books, and, like, I was just, like super sexualizing myself at a very early age, but not any humans. And, like, I was like, it's almost as if I couldn't wait to get my hands on somebody. But I waited. And so I remember then, though, having that energy, I would create so much stuff. Like, I was doing everything I could put my mind to, because I was so horny. But I was like, nope, I'm not having sex, though, because I was, like, back then I was scared of diseases. I was scared of getting somebody pregnant. I was just like, I was scared the person wasn't gonna like me. I was scared I wasn't gonna like the person. It was, like, so many different things that was playing in my head that made me not actually do it. Plus, I got caught once because I did do it. My first time I ever did it, I got caught. So I was like, you know what?
No.
I was traumatized. So I was like, you know what? I would just, like, be horny. And so I used to use that energy then to create. And so I went back, I picked up that person, and I was like, you know what? I be wanting to have sex these days, but at the same time, I'm cool not having it, because, like, I'm in all of these spaces, and that's, like, so much sexual energy around me. Like, so much sexual energy around
A
me.
lot.
And, like, all I could do with that is, like, you know what? How can I use this to make everybody else feel good? Because, like, I've been taking all of this energy and giving it back to whoever wants it. Like, like, I've also been sexualized a lot. Like, people, like, sexualized me since I had this voice since I was 14. So grown women will always be like, oh boy, your voice. Oh boy, come, you can talk to me anytime. Blah, 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 blah. And so I use that now to not only please myself in ways, because I love knowing that the moment I start speaking, people start listening. That's so beautiful. It feels so good. That's and being partnered with you, I've learned to, like, experience orgasm in so many different ways. And so, like, when a crowd listens to me, I orgasm from that. When a crowd screams at me when I want them to scream at me, I orgasm from that. And that feels so good. And so I take all of that energy and use it to give it right back to them, because, like, I feel good doing it, and they feel good listening to me. They feel good in so many different ways. And so, like, just knowing that I can take that sexual energy and not actually have to physically use it, like, I can don't, like, a quote unquote be a guy abusing his power. Knowing, like, I can do that is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's it.
I like that.
Hey. Cool. Do we need to take a break, or can we keep going?
I think we should take a break.
Yeah, let's
no
take a
what.
breath. I'm going to reset the behind the scenes. This is the Dom Experience Podcast presented by R.A.R.E Media. We'll be right back.
psycho, my sadness has become my art. Cause I love a good. Yeah, I love a good, I love a good, I love a good release. Love a good. Yeah, I love a good, I love a good, I love a good release. Take it back, you can have your adventure. Cause the voices in my head run a circus, but I am the freak that they stare at. I'm used to the chaos, I don't need your cure. I may be crazy, but I'm never bored. And it's sad, but it's all that I have. Break the cycle, survival.
Welcome
I love
back.
when I break my
Welcome
own
back
heart.
to the Dom Experience podcast presented by R.A.R.E Media. I am Cinnamon Vixen. We got John R.A.R.E, otherwise known as Dominus. I'm about to do it too. And we got Smo Del Mar.
Hi.
Yay. Okay. So we have talked about the things. We've talked about sexual energy. We're going to tell you in a second where you can find Simone conjuring sexual energy for us. And with us, but it is time to go into the test results. Now we have our 2 tests that we ask our guests to take. The first is a sex values test, which I love talking about because it brings a little bit of roundness to the BDSM test. And then Dominus is going to talk about the BDSM test. So on your sex values results, in your attraction category, it has you as neutral. You are attracted almost equally to masculine and feminine energies. That's cool.
That's correct.
In the sex drive category, we're at 84.4% on the hypersexual side of things.
That's correct.
On the dominance axis, it has you.
Can we?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, you gonna leave that there? You gonna keep going?
Can't just blow
keep
through
going?
this. This is like
Jesus.
this is
Like,
the part I
are we
was
not
so
having a
worried about
conversation?
this whole time.
Are we not having
My
a
test
conversation?
scores.
You're
Nobody wants to hear
jumping-
their test
You're
scores.
jumping into the pool, and this is your lovely guide. Go ahead, babe.
Jesus Christ.
I failed.
The results are high, right?
Yeah. Ish.
The test specifically says
Numbers are
hypersexual.
relative. Numbers are relative. If the bar is 100 and you like 20 away from 100,
Yeah.
really less than 20, but if you like, let's just
Tomato,
round it
tomato.
off. Tomato. If it's closer to 100 than it is 0, we would say it's kind of high based on that scale, right?
Yeah.
That
Not-
general scale.
generally speaking, yes.
So, comparatively speaking, since it's there, right?
Right.
Would you say that's more of an emotion or something that's like acted upon?
Again, I'm gonna revert to that's me. I don't think it's an act. I don't think it's just who I.
No. Not act as in like act, but as in like a verb, as it's like
Action.
are you let me speak for myself. Like I'm like super hypersexual. Like I'm always thinking about sex. I'm always like using sexual energy in like a lot of the things I do without being like hypersexual towards human bodies.
Right.
So like, is this just like more of a feeling, or is this like something you like enjoy acting on? Like do you like to have sex?
Ultimately.
That's basically what I'm saying.
I think for me, in my 20s, yes, I was doing the most.
Yeah.
But I'm a lady now. And yeah, that's funny. Everybody laugh.
I don't know what that means.
No, it just means that I know that I am not for everyone. And I know that what I have to give is not for everyone. And I've seen when I've given things to people that could turn out badly. So I don't give my things out to people. without a whole lot of stuff before that.
That makes
So
sense.
yes, I love sex. Sex is wonderful. Sex is great, but sex for me now means more than just the act.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yep.
That was it. Keep going.
The dominance axis has you at 83.3% submissive, reigning firmly in the submissive category.
That is correct.
I feel like that's a solid balance for the dominance that's exhibited on stage, though.
Right.
Like, yeah, that checks. Deviance axis has you as kinky, 62.5% deviant and 37.5% pure. How do you feel about this?
That one I was surprised about. Not that I wouldn't consider myself a deviant,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. Because I don't do anything that
Which I feel ties into your last value, which is the affection, which is 81.3%.
Right.
Very much exclusive, right? So on that spectrum, we have affection and we have hedonism. We reside higher on the hedonism category of life. And you reside higher on the affection.
So
category.
as I was saying, that I have to
Mm-hmm.
I have to be comfortable in the trust that we were talking about earlier before I feel that I would be able to be deviant
Mm-hmm.
with someone.
It takes the right person.
Yes,
who
it
you can
does.
trust and who can also handle and not handle, but
Handle
like
is the right word.
and cultivate, like co-cultivate sexual energy in
Yeah.
specific ways.
Yeah.
Which is
And
not
I'm
everybody.
very picky.
Mm.
I'm very, very picky.
As you should be.
Yeah.
That
So
makes
As
sense.
we all should be. Vetting is important in
Yes.
any relational dynamic, no matter what. You ready?
I'm
no,
ready if y'all are ready.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready?
Fail. Just say
You know
fail.
you saying yellow?
No. Keep going. I mean, we're here already, right? We've gone this far.
Yeah, but you
Let's
can
go.
always change
Enthusiastic
direction.
consent.
Enthusiastic
Consent
consent
is
is
ever
always, you
fair.
can
And I'm
always
just so
change.
nervous because
You can always change.
that one was
Yeah.
harder. That was a bazillion questions.
It was.
It was.
That was a lot of questions.
They want to know.
And I had to pause for a minute and take breaks because that was a lot of questions. Go ahead, let's do it. Green, go.
Green? All right, cool. It says here, which was the highest one, 90% experimentalist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider yourself one to try anything once?
Yes, very much so.
Did you have any questions about any of these terms while you were?
I looked it up,
Okay.
so
Cool.
I understand.
It also says another high one on here is 89% voyeur. So like you enjoy like watching.
Yeah. And I know that sounds absolutely insane, even though I do what I do.
Nope.
I love watching. I do. I
What
much
does
rather
watching
watch.
do for you?
I think people enjoying themselves or just doing things. I like to go people watch when I'm drinking coffee,
Yeah.
like in a cafe and just watch people walking. I don't know. I like to step out of my life and go into somebody else's world. And if I'm not talking to somebody or I don't know, me watching them I can make up my own story. I can see what's happening or I can feel what's happening. And I don't know, it's exciting to me.
I could dig that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask both of these at the same time. It says here, masochist and submissive, they're both like fairly high.
87% masochist, 83% submissive.
What does one submission do for you? Like, why do you want to be submissive versus like, because it's obvious you can't be dominant.
Right.
What does submission and that choice to be submissive do for you? And how does masochism tie into your submission?
I've always been really submissive. I keep going back, even though I take off my clothes, offer people and do the things. I I'm very shy.
Yeah.
I am very much, I don't want to say people pleaser because that never sounds right, but I enjoy making people happy. And I enjoy when I'm with somebody to basically serve them. I don't know what else word I can use. And that brings me joy, making them happy.
I feel that.
And sometimes it feels good to be hurt by the person, not hurt in the sense of
like
going to the hospital or,
person
you know, I'm in the
hurting you,
corner crying. I mean, just, you
with
know.
the intention to cause damage.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, it works for me.
I feel that.
Consensually.
Which brings me to my favorite one to ask about. Because a lot of people fill this one out, and they always go like kind of low. You thus far have scored the highest.
Oh gosh.
And as a, you know, being black in this kink world, these questions sometimes like are not always fair, and like they have like certain languages that like could kind of be like, you know, triggering.
Right.
It says here, you like 58% be someone's slave in the bedroom. Is that accurate? Or outside? Is that accurate?
Yes. The right person, the right situation, yes. But I have yet to find that situation.
I have a follow-up question. In this perfect situation, or desired situation, would this be more in line with like scene to scene, which is what we would call it, or like in date to date service, or would it be closer to a total power exchange dynamic whereby like you and this person's relationship also revolves around this dynamic of total service? I can clarify what I mean if you need me to.
No, I understand what you're asking. I think scene to scene would be the initial kind of like path, and then date. I don't think I would be okay with like the 24/7 situation, just because like I am who I am, and I'm very much I'm gonna do what I want when I want, and if I want to eat cookies in bed, I want to eat cookies in bed.
75% bread.
Yes. Yeah. I am very much that.
Now I want cookies.
Oh, cookies in bed is the best. So in the right situation, yes, but I mean,
situationally,
I'm picky.
I mean, with service, you you don't have to be, but in my life, I have to be picky with who I'm going to gift my service.
Gift, yes.
It is a gift.
It is.
Definitely a gift. It's a gift for both parties, I would say, also, because like serving a person also serves you. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
But rope buddy, have you ever been tied up?
A couple times, not by anybody professional. So yes.
What does being restrained feel like, if it felt like you were restrained?
I'm gonna actually change, because I can better explain wearing a corset.
Okay.
I recently was fitted for a corset, and I mean, you can buy corsets, you know, online or in the store or whatever, but this place, I'm not going to say who they are because I don't think I can. Anyway, this place I went to, they fit me for a corset, and the way that corset felt on was like amazing. It held me in, and in ways that I didn't even know a corset could hold me in, and I really enjoyed it. When I got taken off, I was like sad.
I feel that.
I wanted to have it on the whole time. So that's kind of, if I was to imagine getting tied up properly,
Right.
that's what it would feel like to me.
Fair enough.
And I really like that sensation.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's a good feeling.
That's yeah.
Them corsets also do. They just
Wow,
it's
snatched
just-
me up in ways I had no idea.
right.
I was like, yes.
I didn't know it could feel like this, and also you look great.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be parallel to a good rope experience. That's very similar to the first time I got tied up at the Kinky Salon campus that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just want to walk around in this and do a happy dance.
And it looks so beautiful when it's done, like the rope with the colors. Oh, so pretty.
Yep.
That's all I got from this test. Unless you have anything you wanted to specifically speak of from your results that stuck out to you or surprised you.
No. I know I'm a brat, so I thought I'd score higher in brat, because I yeah.
Like, what more do you want?
I mean,
82.
Because honestly,
I'm a lot. I thought
honestly,
it'd be higher.
truthfully, you don't give me that though.
Oh my
I
goodness.
feel like you just talk to people that just don't know what they're doing.
No, I'm not pleasant when I don't want to be.
And I guess we all could be that though.
He's
No,
used
but
to brats,
I can be
so.
extra. I'm a lot.
Maliciously? Or because you're not getting what you want?
Because I want to, because I'm not getting what I want, because I think it's fun. I mean, there's so many reasons to be a brat, and I do it very well. But I'll do it in a way that
Rest in peace,
that
take
you'll
off,
enjoy
but I
at
call
the same
Cap.
time. I'll do it to the point that it irritates you, and then I'll pull back and do something funny, and then you'll be like, "Oh, she's just being a little brat." But I'll go to that line though, to the very edge before you're like,
I can see
"Go
that.
away."
I don't see it.
I can see that.
I guess it's there, but I don't see it.
That's good.
I think it's also the heart of it that makes you not see it, because it's not malicious, like higher.
Yeah,
Right.
it ain't a brat if I know what you're doing.
Really?
Yeah, that's just,
him.
for me, I just ignore it.
See, I will not be
He
ignored.
does a really good job of ignoring it. I'm a brat.
Yeah, I know.
Very much
I
so.
can tell.
Everybody's a brat.
Yeah.
Everybody's a brat.
But some people don't let their brat out.
Right.
I haven't met them.
So I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What is a usual question that you guys get when people find out that you're a doms?
I was about to make the most not weird response. The most like when we're out in the streets with people who don't know much, or like they hear it, like somebody randomly gives it as a random fact about us. So y'all be smacking asses?
That's funny.
That's like the...
Yeah, what I get a lot, mostly in DMs and like just in conversation, is how do you stop people from falling in love with you?
Yeah.
And I say I don't.
Yeah. I never know what to tell anybody when it comes to that one, because it's just like we operate in a space of like as pure and selfless love as possible. So like, I mean, you can fall in love with us. We give love and are in love and with love with folks often, right? Like that's what our polyamory means. Like there's multiple opportunities to be in love with folks. You know, as often as we're on stage, we're in love, right, and giving love and receiving love from
right,
folks. But our like society is very much not that, and very much like possessive when it comes to love, and like commoditizing when it comes to love, and like
They often see sex as like this,
and see sex as love.
This like this key, this like source of the love, or the all end all be all of said love. Like, or if from like in my case, every woman they see me talking to, they assume I had sex with them.
Right.
Yeah.
And that sucks. Not that it does nothing for me, but it sucks on the woman's reputation, because
Yeah.
like dudes already like automatically like either one not gonna date her because they think she's my property,
Right.
or two think she's a slut or freak or into this nasty shit because she around me.
Right.
And sometimes I hang with people that aren't into none of this
Right.
shit. They just, I'm just a cool dude.
You are a cool dude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And, you know, other times we have like platonic lover relationships and
Right.
like romantic friendships and like all of these other spaces. So if somebody tells me that they're scared about doing this because they're going to fall in love with me, it like hints to this idea of what love is that's like counter to ours, and how that could be a challenge for us sharing love and energy together.
That makes sense.
It often to me means I need to like slow down and put on like kitty gloves with this person.
Yeah.
To start to like break down, if they're willing to break down like some of those notions about love and sex and sexual energy.
Yeah. I guess one more I get a lot is like, was one I hate. It's like you, so you like this, like sex demon or something like that.
Wow.
He gets
Like,
that.
And like I
You say yes.
no, I say no.
He says no.
I say no because I like for me, I don't want people to automatically assume because I'm into kink and doing these kinky things that I'm into having sex with them.
Right.
And like, because that's not necessarily what I'm doing this for. That's not what I always want to do, and I don't want people to continually sexualize me
Yeah.
when I just want to like get to the root of what you want. Like, you wanted to have sex with me, and that's fine, but don't call me a sex demon
Right.
because you want to have sex with me.
Yeah.
Or because that experience was
Like, damn.
like, or because that experience was and a more intense energetic experience. Right. Like, that's happened before too, where like one of us will have an experience with somebody, be it sexual or be it kinky, and because they've had this emotional release that has only ever been compared to like a sexual relationship or relationship with a person, it's like, I don't know what to do about the fact that I've had sex and now I'm crying.
Yeah.
Or like had my back beaten and I'm crying, or like
Right.
I don't know what to do about all these emotions that have welled up, so I'm going to box them into this space and make things more complicated for themselves, honestly.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, we're operating in love regardless. But it does, for me, I can say, slow down my want and desire for exploration, both sexual and non,
Yeah.
to like reach those roadblocks with people, like in a similar, like, picky vein. Like, I can't do a lot of the things that I want to do, because in order to do that, folks need to be in a more open-minded or
On the
more
same level.
liberated like place.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I'm grateful for the opportunities that are there, because they're nice.
Shout out to say opportunities.
Not to people that afford me the space and ability to be myself.
People is a word that we created that we got attached to.
We have
that make us
arguments
get
about
offended
language
by it.
often. We argue about language often.
Language is language.
So what do you say if not people?
Well, I
He
don't
said
really.
opportunities.
I just said opportunities in that
Okay.
moment. I had no like negative or mean thing. I wasn't objectifying humans in that moment. It was just like, it was a word.
And I felt the need to clarify.
Yeah,
Hence, he
words are
needed to
words.
further clarify.
Right.
Like, words are words.
Yep. Any other questions for us?
What made you bring me on? Because I was really reluctant to do this.
Well, I didn't know you were coming on till she told me. So this is all you. Don't look at me.
I've been trying to
Cinnamon's
get the
doing.
guests to the show. Well, okay, one, because I love you.
I love
I
you
mean,
too. You
that-
know I do.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But especially in a podcast where we like reside on the spectrum of sex and spirituality and BDSM and kink. Like, we've had lots of conversations about spiritual practices, and we're both conjurers of sexual energy on stage. And so it just made sense. And then if there's like a way to also like have deeper conversations about BDSM and kink within that, cool. Also, like, the point is not with this podcast to bring a bunch of folks who are well versed in BDSM and kink.
Right.
Like,
Mission accomplished.
right. Like, I love having folks from all ends of the spectrum in space.
Right.
From like kink and BDSM to spirituality. And so, yeah.
Well,
And
thank you.
we just love having people on the podcast for whom we would just have a conversation similar to we would at home.
Right.
So that's always fun.
Yay.
Yeah, and I'm just glad you're here.
Yeah.
Like Cinnamon told me a couple of weeks ago that Simone's gonna be on this date. I was like, oh, awesome, great. Like, yeah. Like I'm always
love
going
you.
with the flow. Like, yeah, I love
Because you're a cool dude.
I love who you are as a person, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it though? Was it a good experience?
You know what? I was so scared because this is not my jam at all. This is my first anything like this at all. And
Honored.
it was wonderful. It was great.
Awesome.
That
Thank you
brings
for
us so
trusting
much-
us.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you for-
did trust you guys because I wouldn't be here with anybody because I'm picky.
You know, it's nice to be picked.
I feel like a pick me almost.
Okay, y'all. It is time for church announcements.
Should we take a break before church announcements?
Do
Or
we
can
need to
just
take a
roll
break
straight
before
through?
church announcements, or can we roll straight through? Okay, we're gonna take a very brief break. No, we're gonna roll straight through. Says R.A.R.E Media Podcast producers. It is time for church announcements. Church announcements are pretty much, you know, what they sound like. How can folks continue to engage with you beyond today, especially this upcoming week or weekend?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, Simone Del Mar. I'm not on Facebook, so yeah. This weekend I am in Jackson
Yep.
on Saturday. And if you follow my Instagram, you can see all of the shows I will be in December.
Hey.
And there's quite a few, so come find me.
Yay.
Nicely, please.
Yeah.
With ones, tens, fives,
Oh,
20s,
yeah.
$100 bills.
How about just an envelope full of cash, 50s,
Yep.
100s?
Yep.
Just slide it
Yep.
in my hand and smile
Yes.
and walk away.
Yep. I was about to say, and then
Walk away.
That'd be fantastic.
You know, we call that a cash meet in the Fin-Down world.
A what?
A cash meet in the Fin-Down world.
What?
Where literally the entire scene and experience is said financial submissive. Like
That. I want that.
just arriving either with cash in hand, you receive it. They might include a little bit of humiliation, like they might get on their knees and or be stepped on real quick, and then they go about their business. Or you meet at an ATM, they drain their bank accounts for whatever amount has been agreed upon. They gift it to you. You take it and walk away.
I want that.
Can
I want
share
that.
real quick?
Go ahead.
I want
Just
that.
made me realize this old lady at work is Finn Diamond is blind, man.
Yeah, probably. Oh yeah, the one you said you messaged about.
Because
earlier.
what I didn't put on Facebook is he sends her money via cab. The blind man is cool with this cab driver, and he sends an envelope of money
Yeah.
with the cab driver. Brings the money. The cab driver waits, calls the man, makes sure that whatever he put in there, she got. And she called him back and said, "Yeah, I got it." And then they never see each other.
Yep.
Can I get one of
Literally
those?
don't, because he blind.
Anybody out there? Yes,
Yep.
please. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm just putting out in the universe 2023. I got some things I need to do.
Same.
That means money needs to be in the
That's some wild
hands.
stuff, bro.
Same.
In the hands.
I mean, yeah, we live a wild life. You see a lot of wild
I
stuff.
see and hear a lot of wild
Yep.
things.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
She told the blind man. She told this man, she called the man to check on him, right? And the man said, instead of checking on me, why you ain't come see me? And she told the man, well, I thought you was going to come see me. I was going to meet you at the door with my birthday suit on and let you unwrap the gift. The man blind. How you going to do that?
That's not even funny.
That's so rude.
That's sad.
It was funny.
That's
It was
sad.
hilarious. And they like 67.
Both of them?
Oh, yeah, they all old.
I don't discriminate on age with this whole situation.
Envelopes in the hands.
I don't care how old you are.
Meet you at the
18
ATM.
up. 18 and up. Envelope, please.
Envelope. She said, I don't care how old you are.
18 and up. Envelope,
Well, yes.
please.
Age of consent and up. Yep.
You got to be like upper for me. I ain't
Well,
messing
if you're
with
just giving
18.
me an envelope of cash, I don't really.
You know, I kind of sort of think about the money I was making in college.
I think about why you giving me the cash. I don't want you to even think about me sexually.
It's just the pleasure of gifting the cash.
I don't know if an 18-year-old feel that way.
I mean, that's
if
why
they
you
have a
vet
trust
them.
fund, they will be okay with it.
See? Difference. Anyway,
Think outside the box.
church announcements
Fair enough.
continued. I will be in Memphis, returning on Friday and Saturday. Yeah, those things will be posted on my page. And on Sunday, I will be back in time for Lady Midnight's birthday celebration over at Saturn Bar. 9 o'clock is when that show starts. I will be performing and then dancing and celebrating one of my friends in this industry. Yeah, that's all I got before next week.
I'll be at Opulence Sunday,
Hey.
working sound,
Hey.
8 o'clock.
Hey.
Meet all of us there. I'm not sure who's performing just yet, but I'll be there working sound. So, yeah. Maison,
Yeah.
inside the penthouse.
And if you're nice and you show up with an envelope, he will do a poem.
Yeah, you show up
It
with an
happened
envelope
this
full of
weekend.
cash, I'll do a poem.
Simone performed.
I did last
It was-
Sunday.
Amazing.
It was fun.
And then coming up, we have the cookout on the agenda. It is a live music burlesque show. It is going to be amazing. It is on the 11th and tickets are on sale now. It is an even earlier Sunday show than usual. It's going to be 5 to 7. And so you can get there, get some dinner, and then get ready for another week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Diesel.
Tickets are also on sale for a few more days, right? For the experience.
So yeah, we got a few. We got 10 early bird. Last time I checked, we had 10 early bird general admission seats.
Available.
The table seats already sold out. So if you're trying to come to that show, we're back at the Always. That space is going to be very, very limited seating. So we may do 2 shows, but as of right now,
No promises.
no promises. So get those tickets while you can.
That goes for you too. Let us know so we can pop those rare media seats in.
Yeah, it was just.
But those are our 2 main things. Other things on the horizon is we'll be updating our media so that you can see what we have on the agenda for 2023 real soon. I got to do some creatrixing in the background in the tech so we can show you the things. Oh yeah, and since the last time we were here, there's a ring and some TikTok videos. You can go see those
Oh yeah.
on your own.
Put it on the man, I wanna marry.
Put it on the man.
All right.
On that's all we got to say about that. You can go see the videos, and there will be links shared for that soon too. I think that's all we got. Anything else you want to tell the people, Simone?
This was great.
Really go see Simone this season because I'm 95% sure that her Santa Baby act is going to come out.
Oh.
And I'm not going to tell you when and where. You'll just have to show up and find out.
Yeah, I have to do that a couple times.
I feel like I'm gonna just put all y'all on the spot. I feel like the what's the next the final performance market?
Oh, the final performers market is going to be
I feel like it
December
should be
10th.
I feel like that should be a holiday show.
Probably.
And like all of these holiday acts should just like come out and be marketed it. And have all of these people come out,
Throw some money.
throw some money.
Envelopes of cash.
The Cats folks will be there for their Acro Cats matinees and such.
Gotta see that.
It's going to be good.
But yeah, that's my dream, is just to see a bunch of Christmas acts at the market. No pressure, open micers.
We got 10 days before the performers market. That's going to be a good weekend. So that Saturday is performers market from 3 to 7. And then that Sunday is a cookout from 5 to 7. But yeah, follow the page at the Dom Experience Podcast, NOLA.
Yes, our new page.
John made the name longer rather than shorter.
Well, you know, I tried all the short ones.
The pod one didn't work?
No, yeah, all those they worked, but they didn't work because they associated the email to the original email, and so as I kept changing the names, they kept blocking me, and then when I tried to use them with a new email, they said this name is already in use now. So every time I created a new name, it kept saying this name is now in use. I was like, well, how was it in use? It never got approved.
Oh no.
And so the final one I could do with a new email, which was the Kiki Chrysalis, was our first thing we started.
Yep.
I used that email, and then it worked.
Long story short, social media is wild, and we're gonna try and stick closer to community guidelines.
Yeah, basically,
and also join our
if you're
website
interested in anything we do, we can't say, hey, if you want a dom session, slide in our DMs. We can't say that in public. So if you want a dom session, you just gotta know that we're available for you to want a dom session.
Or go to the websites, y'all.
Yeah, well, I don't have one.
I mean, your stuff is on my website.
Well,
and the Dom Experience website is coming soon. So
it's not always that easy.
I know. You got to do a little bit of work if you want some of this goodness, is the point.
Yeah.
Fair
That's the
enough.
theme.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily want to make certain people who need me work.
I know. They can send you a message.
That's why I'm saying what I say.
See, this is what we do. Anyway, we love you. Have an amazing Wednesday night. We'll be back next week with 2 guests.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be a good time.
Gonna
They're
be a
both
party.
dancers as well.
Mm-hmm.
A good time.
But until then, this has been the Dom Experience Podcast. Thank you so much, Simone, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
We love you. We love you.
Love you too.
We love you too. And have a good night.
Peace.
Hey, love under the dark light, dancing into midnight. Your hands trace my outline, slip to my waist, 10-4 on the floor, right? DJ drop it low, low bass line, give me the solo. Let's speed up, cause you're too slow. Yeah, cause you all know place about to blow. I'm a trendsetter, no one's better. No doubt whether we're the pros or amateurs. First can't stop me now, we'll burn it down. It all down to the ground. Now give me my crown. We got that body party pumping through the break of dawn. You wanna get invited, play the game and come along. We're going hard and getting lit until it's done my clock. So come on over, hit it harder, yeah, it's time to rock. In the face of the apocalypse, we dance. Forget everything around us in this midnight cleanse.
So follow my lead, and you'll be set free. Riding the flow, we vibing